Let's say you've been bunny hopping for quite a while now and you're doing pretty good. You're able to beat most top 15 times in Half-Life KZ, you have a good time on Half-Life 1 leaderboards, there's always something that gets in the way of getting that sweet number 1 spot. Or perhaps you've just started learning and you're looking for some tips. In this video I'm going to talk about a couple of more advanced techniques that you can do to become more fluid in b-hopping. Most of these tricks are already likely to be utilized by top tier b-hoppers, you know, like myself, of course. But even if you are one, maybe you'll find something useful in here too. So I'll assume that you already know the basics of bunny hopping here. But first off, I want to give a tip for new players, since this is a pretty common mistake that I see people do. So make sure that your pre-strafes and strafing are optimal, and by that I mean you should at least reach 470 or something like that units per second while you're doing a pre-strafe. In AG this number is going to be a little bit lower because there's a different max speed setting, so it's going to be like 450 or 460 for a good pre-strafe. But also make sure that you're getting the most out of your strafes while you're b-hopping. And you just basically want to maximize your speed gain while you're strafing. And I see a lot of people who are simply not strafing sharp enough while they definitely can, and in turn they are not getting as much speed. The reason why this is important is because in Half-Life you're most likely going to be going through narrow hallways, so you won't be spending that much time b-hopping at top speeds, and you'll be constantly stopping and initiating a b-hop and then doing that over and over again. So it's pretty important to be good at this initiating process, you know, like pre-strafing and strafing as hard as you can in the start of the b-hop, and that might save you quite some time already. So if you feel that this is something you need to work on, a good way to do that is to go to a big and empty map, put SV gravity to 0 and just go into the air and start gaining speed as fast as you can, like from midair. And this will let you feel the limits of how far you can push the strays, basically get the muscle memory for it. But yeah, if you feel like your bunny hop technique is alright, then we can focus on these advanced tricks, and they more have to do with reading your bunny hop path and adjusting your bunny hop pattern. The idea here is basically to just keep bunny hopping for as long as possible without stopping and initiating new b-hops, because that way you'll save a couple of seconds, even if you're not going that fast. Also, these might help you chain some harder b-hops and achieve some harder jump that you might be going for. So first off, I'll mention duck rolling, and in combination with bunny hopping, doing a couple of subsequent duck rolls will let you slightly change your b-hop pattern. This is especially useful when, let's say, you need to bunny hop throughout some sort of a section and doing 2 jumps will not cover enough distance for you to clear it, but 3 jumps will be too much. So that's where doing a duck roll in between will let you adjust your pattern just enough to make the desired jump. Another similar move is called a stand-up b-hop. This will let you cover greater length in 1 or more jumps, and to do a stand-up b-hop you basically want to crouch a little bit before landing after your first jump, and then uncrouch right before you make the second jump. If done right, the crouching will allow you to travel slightly more distance before touching the ground, so it's gonna be the same as if you're doing like a crouch jump. But your next jump will be the same height as a normal standing bunny hop. So basically you can get more distance out of each jump. And a good example of this can be this clip from AG b-hop master, where I chain a couple of stand-up b-hops to clear this section, as otherwise my speed would be insufficient here to do it without the stand-up b-hop. So these are some pretty basic tricks, I would say, and like I said, most of you already know about them, but the key here is to basically start using them and incorporate them into your normal gameplay, as they will definitely make you better in movement overall. And I feel like a good way to learn this, you know, like train your muscle memory to do these tricks, is to play a lot of Half-Life KZ, as I feel like in Half-Life KZ you're presented with these scenarios where you actually require them way more often than in just Half-Life 1 single player. So it's just something that you can apply to kind of any scenario, and yeah, those things are always good to know.